This is the Kevin Trudeau Show.
I am exposing the corruption in government and in major multinational corporations. We're telling you the things that they don't want you to know that will make your life better. Hey, Kevin Trudeau here. Thanks for joining me. This is the Kevin Trudeau Show, broadcasting from a secret, undisclosed location someplace in the world. Can't tell you where. I can't tell you the reasons why I can't tell you where. But thanks for joining me. We have a great show today. Stay with us for the entire show. I got health tips for longevity. It's going to blow your mind. I got new data that shows Kevin was right all along, and this data is going to improve the quality of your life. That's coming up. I'll move this over here, so I got that. But I want to start today's show with something very significant and important that you have to think about if you want to live a better life. There was a documentary years ago done about Deepak Chopra. Now, I've met Deepak several times. I interviewed him several times. We shared the speaking platform on several occasions. And he's done magnificent work and written a host of wonderful books and has wonderful clinics and has done a great job of educating people about the mind-body connection. Brilliant, brilliant man. His son did a documentary about Deepak that was not very nice. As a matter of fact, if you watch the documentary, it painted Deepak in a very, very bad light. It made him look really, really bad. And I remember a journalist went to Deepak and said, "Your son made a documentary about you, and it was very, 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 very it was very unflattering. It was very negative, and it painted you in a bad light. What do you say about your son's documentary that he made about you, Deepak Chopra?" And Deepak said, "My son didn't make a documentary about me. He made a documentary about himself." Now think about this. What you see in others is really what you see in yourself. You see, life is a mirror, and people are the biggest mirror. When you see something and hate something in someone else, it's a reflection of you. Think about this. This is not a new concept. This is a concept that's been talked about for thousands of years. That life reflects the inner you. What you experience in life is a reflection of what is inside of you and how you really perceive yourself. Think about this. There was an inscription made, my good friend Cindy, at a health retreat, a rejuvenation and cleansing retreat in Hilo, Hawaii, called Angel Farms, wrote this. And this is Cindy speaking. She said, "When I visited London for the first time in 1967, I was inspired and overwhelmed by one of the most important pieces of wisdom I had ever encountered. It was written on the tomb of an Anglican bishop, 1100 AD, in the crypts of Westminster Abbey." And here's what the inscription said, written in 1100 AD, Westminster Abbey. "When I was young and free, and my imagination had no limits, I dreamed of changing the world. As I grew older and wiser, I discovered the world would not change. So I shortened my sight somewhat and decided to change only my country. But in time, it too seemed immovable. As I grew into my twilight years, in one last desperate attempt, I settled for changing my family, those closest to me. But alas, they would have none of it. And now, as I lay on my deathbed, I realize if I had only changed myself first, then by example, I might have changed my family. From their inspiration and encouragement, I would then have been able to better my country. And who knows, I may have been able to even change the world. Think about that. We always try to change other people, their behaviors, their way of thinking. Stop trying to change your family, others, your country, the world. Work on yourself. Make a better you. It's all about becoming a better you. When you focus on yourself and focus on making a better you, everything starts to change. As Gandhi said, be the change you want to see in the world. Focus on yourself. That's how you change everything. But most importantly, those things out there that you feel you need to change and have to change because they irritate you, they'll stop irritating you when you work on yourself and become a better you. Those external conditions no longer actually have any effect on you because when you change yourself, all of a sudden the world changes because the world is a reflection of what's going on inside of you. Think about a movie screen. In the old days, you used to go to the theater and they'd have the big silver screen. And behind you, there'd be a projector. And the projector had a light. And the light was like a beam that went forward. The light projected onto the screen. And it was just a white light on the screen. The film was translucent. Whatever was on the film in front of the light, when the light beam hit the film, that was projected on the screen. You are light, pure love, pure light. Your beliefs, your thoughts, your judgments, that's the film. And when the light inside you hits that film, that's what's projected on the screen we call life. And that's what you see. Think about that. Contemplate that. This is wisdom of the ages and secrets of the universe. Work on becoming a better you, which is why on this show, if you are new to the show, go back and watch some of the previous shows. I've given you vast amounts of tangible, workable techniques and knowledge that you can apply that will improve the quality of your life, and it's all for free here. One of those things I recommend is certain books that if you read these books, it can help change the inside of you and make a better you. Other things I recommend is movies. We'll put up on the screen now a list of the books that I recommend. Here are the recommended books that I've recommended and I've talked about at length on previous shows. Scribble these down real quick. But you can see these are the books that if you want to change yourself on the inside, reading is a significant thing to consider. Leaders are always readers. Reading changes you in a unique way, unlike anything else. These books that are listed there are the premier books, the best books, in my opinion, that can change you in a positive way and improve the quality of your life. They'll motivate you. They'll inspire you. They'll get you thinking. They'll teach you techniques that you can apply to make the conditions of your life better, to give you more power, to make you more at peace, to give you more certainty about life, to make you more confident, to allow you to deal with other people better and get people to like you, to manifest your goals, dreams, and desires. These books are very inexpensive. Reading is something you should consider doing. My good friend Charlie Tremendous Jones, one of the greatest motivational speakers of all time, he always said a scientific fact which was true. He said 5 years from now, the person you will become is going to be based mostly on the people that you associate with and the books you read. Think about that. So those are the books I recommend. The next list we're going to put up is the movies that I have recommended on this show over the last few months. I'm not going to give you a new book recommendation today or a new movie recommendation today, but these movies contain secrets of success. They're entertaining, they're enlightening, they're eye-opening, and they teach you skills and techniques, if you really pay attention, of what it takes to become successful in life and live a better, happier, more joyful, productive, abundant, prosperous life. And the movies are entertaining as well. So look at the movies. I'm going to encourage you to go to the comment section and tell everyone else what movie that you watched that you really liked, or what book that I recommended that you read that you really liked, and share your experience with those movies and or those books in the comment section. I read all the comments. So I would really encourage you to pay attention and read those comments as well, because you may get some really, really good insight. Okay. One thing that we're going to talk about today is around the world in countries that had high standards of living and quality of life, such as the United States of America or Canada and other such countries. Your standard of living and quality of life is going down, and it's going to continue to go down. If you live in countries that have been classified as third world countries, countries with a low standard of living, low quality of life, where people were starving and so forth, your countries are going to start improving. Your standard of living and quality of life are going to start getting better. This is being set up by the privileged elite class. But we are being brainwashed. If you live in America or Canada or some other of those countries, you're being brainwashed that you live in the best country in the world with the highest standard of living and the highest quality of life. And it's absolutely not true. We are being scammed when you read about inflation data, as an example. It's a complete scam. Inflation is off the charts. The way inflation is calculated is a fraud. Your income 5 years ago, what was your income? What is your income today? From your job. It hasn't gone up very much, has it? But the prices of things have gone up at a higher rate than your income. That means your standard of living has gone down. But the mainstream media will keep saying, no. Your inflation is income increases are on par with inflation. It's not true. And here's one of the ways that they will manipulate inflation data and lie to you.
Normal programming has been interrupted at the request of the U.S. government. Everyone receiving this broadcast should pay close attention. The information contained in this broadcast is vital to your safety. Please stand by.
The Federal Trade Commission has commandeered this broadcast as Kevin Trudeau is spreading baseless misinformation about the U.S. government lowering the quality of life for its civilians. The U.S. government has no history of corruption, nor is there any ongoing corruption. We are the U.S. government, and we are here to help.
Ladies and gentlemen, we just had some sort of glitch in our system, so we're going to play one of our most recent segments as we try to get back on the air. I get a question all the time. I just spent an evening with people that finished up the money processes. We had a wonderful dinner together. And one of the things I did was I walked around the room as we were getting together, and I touched people on the shoulder, and people started shaking. A couple people started shaking. Another person said that he almost passed out, and he asked me what I did. What did I do? I said, well, look. And they could see the transference of
Shakti, or energy, which is what I did in just a moment. And being in that room, my eyes got incredibly green because I raised the vibrational frequency of the room and created this massive attractor field bubble where whatever was put out in that field is going to manifest in a person's life much faster. If that can happen in a few minutes in my personal contact. Oh, and by the way, people ask me questions all night too. They were like, you know, I've been following you. I've been a member of Jen. I've been a member of the fan club for years. And I've listened to all the training. I've read the books you said. And I watch your show on Rumble and YouTube and things. I participate in the live Zoom calls as a partner. I send questions in. But to be here and ask you a question, have you answer, and have that dialogue back and forth, this was more helpful and had a bigger impact than everything else almost combined. Because of that, I am doing something that I've never done before, and I may never do again. And it comes out of a need. I mentioned I'm dealing with the Federal Trade Commission. They have said, the lawyer went on the Federal Trade in court, and he said, I want to thank the 30 full-time lawyers that have been working on this case against Mr. Trudeau. 30 lawyers for somebody who has not one customer complaint, not been charged with a crime, to basically stop me from revealing information they don't want you to know about. I have one part-time lawyer because they can't work full-time because I haven't paid them the money that I owe them. I had $1.5 million in legal bills. People have contributed to the Kevin Trudeau Legal Defense Fund, and we've knocked it down to about $750,000. But my monthly bills run around $100,000 a month. And in order for me to defend myself, we need to bring in 10, 20 lawyers to fight off the 30 lawyers that are attacking me. So I've set up the KT Legal Defense Fund for people to contribute. And any contribution you make there, $10, $5, $100, $1,000 is great. And 100% of that money, 100% goes to pay the lawyers. The guys who run it do it as volunteers. I don't get a single penny, and there's no expenses. 100% of the money goes in, and then it goes right to the lawyers. That's great. But what I'm doing is next year, I was talking to the people at the Golden Door Spa, which is a world-famous spa I've been going to for decades. Some of the wealthiest people in the world go to the spa and have for over 50 years. It is spectacular and magnificent. It's in Southern California. It's a one-week program. It starts on Sunday and ends the following Sunday. It maxes out at 30 people. Billionaires, multi-billionaires have been there, sleeping in those beds, being in those grounds, those hollowed grounds. The vibrational frequency that has been created there over the decades with all this wealth, anybody who goes into that frequency, you are permanently changed. And it's just this wealth magnetic field, this attractor field that just impermeates you with wealth attracting vibrations. They said, why don't you invite people to come here for a week, and that way if they give you the money, they can come here, and that way you can pay off your legal bills. So I graciously accepted that. I thought it was fantastic. And so what I'm doing is I'm having a 1-week retreat, if you will, at the world-famous Golden Door Spa next year. We're already 1/3 sold out. So I think there's 20 spaces left. This is for people who are willing to make a $15,000 contribution to the Legal Defense Fund. So if you make a $15,000 to the Legal Defense Fund by going to ktlegalfund.com, then we'll reach out to you and give you all the details, and then you are available to come for this 1 week with me. And every day I'll be working with everyone, and it's going to be a magnificent week. Trey, let's show some of the pictures of this place, because I want to describe what this place is. It's in Southern California, outside of San Diego. That's the pool, one of the pools. The whole place is like a Japanese zen. The food, by the way, is incredible. You even have a little wine if you choose, although it is spa cuisine. This is yeah, let's go through those pictures one at a time. So here's the gardens. You can see it's all Japanese. They have their own a garden where they get all organic produce. That's the cold plunge pool you can get into in one of the spas. This is one of the lunches that you get. It's world-class cuisine, spa cuisine. You will lose weight. This is one of the lobbies that you can sit and relax. On a hike, this is one of the hiking areas that you can see. Again, some more vegetables that you get, or fruits. This is one of the rooms, all the room. You get your own private room with own private bathroom. And it's all world class. You can see it's first class all the way. This is where the billionaires go. You can see the bamboo forest in the back. They have rowing machines and classes. They have a full exercise classes all day. Rowing is one of them. This is one of the, this is a place where we meet before dinner. Let's go to the next one. They have tennis courts and pickleball. Next. This is on the hike. This is the bamboo forest, as you can go for a walk on your own, or they have classes. This is one of the treatment rooms. You get body scrubs here. There's the koi pond, and that's where the dining room is. You dine inside or outside. This is our gong, which will let you know you're coming to dinner. Again, the gardens and the grounds where you live. Again, this is where you live, and this is where the facilities are. More delicious food. Another view of what you're walking through. They have a beautiful meadow. If you want a little snack in the afternoon, you can get anything you want. There's the pool. We have al fresco dining there if the weather permits, out by the pool. This is one of the rooms. All the rooms are very similar. Here's one of them. There's a walk there. Some food. One of the living quarters where you stay. Again, everyone gets their own private room, the bamboo forest. When you're walking and hiking, and that's also the garden. Another sitting area. There's flowers everywhere. It's very zen, as you can see. Next. I get another area where you can just get some sun if you just want to lounge by the pool. Breakfast. Breakfast is served either in your room or in the dining room. Another beautiful area where those are sleeping rooms. There's a great water volleyball game every day at noon. Hiking. Again, it's just absolutely magnificent and gorgeous. Again, very Japanese in feel. We put on that kimono every night for dinner. It's almost very zen-like and calms us down. It is a world-famous spa. If you were to just book it on your own, it's $15,000. So it's the same price. And what you get is everything is included. All of your meals, all of your snacks. You get a massage every single day in your room. You get a facial every single day, a pedicure, a manicure. If you want a haircut or hair or scalp treatments, those are available. There's hot stone massage. There's aromatherapy. There's reflexology available, breath work. You also get 3 herbal wraps in the week. You get a body scrub in the week. They have sauna, steam, hot tub. They have lap pool. It is magnificent. It is absolutely magnificent. And all day you can do as much or as little as you want. Start early in the morning with meditation. Then you can go for a hike. They have 3 different hikes. They have a long hike, a mountain hike, which is about an hour and a half. They have a medium hike, and then just a meadow walk. You don't have to do anything, or you can do everything. They have stretching classes, Pilates. They have a full gym where you get a personal training session every day if you want, where a personal trainer will give you and help you based on your physical capabilities, give you a training workout. They have boxing, kickboxing. They have Tai Chi, Qigong. They have bike classes, spinning classes. They have rowing classes. They have lots of yoga. They have tennis lessons if you want, pickleball. There's archery. There's the list goes on and on and on and on and on. You can even learn origami, and I took a class on the Japanese tea ceremony. They have two beautiful labyrinths, meditation. There's just so many things you can do. I will be there working with everybody. You can do as much or as little as you want. It's available for both men and women. It's going to be a co-ed week. If you want to spend an entire week with me and have your life completely transformed spiritually and physically, this is going to be spectacular. And it's one of a kind. It's a world-class spa, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. They have a snack in the morning, a snack in the afternoon. If you want things sent to your room, they do it. Protein shakes, nuts, juice, fruit, anything you want, they'll do. The meals are spectacular. You get to pick out what you want. Any dietary restrictions is not an issue. You will be pampered. If you want to exercise and lose weight, you'll do that. If you just want to relax, you can do that. If you want to be pampered all week and just do that. If you want to be on your own or hang out with other people and do things as a group, you can do that. I'll be doing classes every single day. I will be there. Just by going into the compound, remember, you're going to be sleeping in a bed that some billionaire has been sleeping in, multiple billionaires for decades. The energy, the Shakti, the Chi energy that permeates this whole place is going to transform you, and it's going to be magical. And the fact that I'm going to be there doing all my spiritual work and meditation work and energy work is going to be magnificent. This is something that's going to get the legal bills paid. And I've talked to the lawyers. I've told them this is how I'm going to be paying the legal bills, because they have finance committees, and they said, we can't continue to represent you. We can't do appeals. We can't write briefs because we can't bill more until you get this paid down. So I showed them this plan, and they said, well, let's see how many people sign up. So I mentioned this just to fan club partners a week or two ago, and I think we got close to 10 people already signed up, close to that. So it's about a third already sold. It's first come, first serve. It's next June. It is next June. I know that's almost 10 months away, but it is going to sell out. And when you book, now you're locked in, because this is going to sell out probably in the next few weeks. So, or 30 days, or nobody knows. Could be 60 or 90 days before it sells out, but it is going to sell out. So if you'd like to spend an entire week with me. Now, to put this in perspective, if you just went to the Golden Door without me there, it costs 15 grand. That's number one. Number two, if you take a weekend seminar with Tony Robbins or any Les Brown or any of these guys who are fantastic, and I know them. Les is a good friend of mine. They charge 15 grand or more for a weekend seminar, for a weekend event. And that doesn't include your meals, and it doesn't include the hotel, and it doesn't include massages every day, and it doesn't include a personal trainer every day, and it doesn't include body scrubs and facials and pedicures and manicures, and it doesn't include all that stuff. For 15 grand, you're getting a week with me. You're getting all of your accommodations, all of your food, all of your snacks, a massage every day, a pedicure and manicure. You're getting a facial every day. You're getting 3 herbal wraps in the week. You're getting a full body scrub. These things cost, hundreds of dollars each. It's all included. So this is a phenomenal deal, number one. Phenomenal. And you get the whole week with me. So it is something special. And certainly not everybody can afford it. But all you have to do is just pay for the flights to get to San Diego. You don't even have to pay for the airport transfer. They will pick you up at the airport, no cost, and drive you. You come in on Sunday, and you leave the following Sunday afternoon. You can leave early if you want, but generally people come around midday on Sunday. That's when they arrive, either mid-morning or early afternoon. And then they usually leave either on the morning, Sunday morning, somewhere in the morning, or midday the following Sunday. Some people leave on a Saturday because they need to leave a little early, but generally they come in on Sunday and leave on Sunday. So if you're considering that, I would ask you to strongly consider it. Number one, this is going to be a spectacular event for you. It is going to be a life-changing, miracle-producing week. unlike anything anyone has ever experienced. I can guarantee you that. It is going to be special. No one's ever done that type of spiritual retreat at this type of location where you have billionaire after billionaire after billionaire after billionaire who has been in those beds, in that facility. That whole place, when you come through the golden doors, it is transformative. There is an energy, people have seen it. I've asked Gary, take a look at the golden door. Oh my God, he said. That's like, on planet Earth, there's nothing like this because there's no place where that many billionaires have come that consistently for 50 years. So the energy bubble, the wealth creating, wealth attracting energy field that's there is off the charts, combined with the spiritual energy, because the whole idea of the golden door was for spiritual awakening and physical cleansing and strengthening of the body. It wasn't to create wealth. That happened because wealthy people went there. So it was originally a spiritual awakening. So when wealthy people went, they were going not to create more wealth. They were going to cleanse themselves spiritually and get in physical shape and feel better. So you have the trifecta of success energy attractor fields that are there. Health, the food and the exercise. Wealth, which was added with all the billionaires going, and happiness, the spiritual enlightenment. And when I am there, I'm adding to it times 10,000. I'm 10,000 times increasing the intensity of the spiritual awakening and enlightenment coming out of your trance energy, self-realization energy, spiritual awakening energy. The wealth energy is there and the health energy is there, and I'm increasing and intensifying all those frequencies as well. It's going to be a spectacular week. So I would encourage you, because I know people are going to be just kicking themselves. Oh man, I missed it. It is going to be, wait till you see the comments of people after they go through that week. So go to ktlegalfund.com. We take credit cards now. So if you want, you can email us when you go there. There's an email address and say, I want to use a credit card. We can do that. I think they have right on there. It should be right on there. If you have a hard time, just email us and we'll sort it out. You can also wire the money or send in a check. ktlegalfund.com, $15,000 contribution, not tax deductible, but it's a contribution to the Legal Defense Fund. I get not one penny. I don't get one penny to do this. 100% of the money goes to the lawyers. So it's going to be a spectacular, spectacular week.
Are we back up? We're able to go live? Okay, let's try it again.
This is the Kevin Trudeau Show.
I am exposing the corruption in government and in major multinational corporations. We're telling you the things that they don't want you to know that will make your life better. Hey everybody, Kevin Trudeau here. Everything they don't want you to know about the Kevin Trudeau Show. Thanks for joining me. I am from an undisclosed secret location someplace in the world. And I can't tell you the reason why I'm in this secret location. I can't tell you why it is a secret. Maybe in a week or two, I'll let you know. But we're in for an exciting show. I'm going to be talking about health, ways to improve your health, ways to have more energy, ways to lose weight, ways to sleep better, ways to live longer, and look 10 to 15 years younger than you do right now. So that's on tap. Plus, I'm going to be sharing with you one of the secrets of the universe that has been written about in ancient scriptural texts for thousands and thousands of years. That's coming up. And I got a bunch of other things I'm going to be talking about here today as well. So we are in for an exciting show. If you are brand new to the show, I would highly recommend and endorse that you check out some of the previous shows. I have revealed information on this show that you should be paying thousands of dollars for. Information that if you watch the show and just take some notes, I'm giving you data, specific techniques and strategies that can improve the quality of your life. And I'm blowing the whistle on stuff that nobody or very few people are actually talking about on the internet. So thanks for joining me. Let's talk about health. Coffee drinkers. Oh boy. Everyone's like, uh-oh, he's going to tell me don't drink coffee. No. I'm going to tell you drink coffee. Coffee is good. Organic coffee is better, but good quality coffee is great. If you are a coffee drinker, maybe you drink Starbucks. First off, let's define coffee. You know, when I say, do you drink coffee? Someone says, yeah, I drink coffee. Okay. Do you drink coffee black? Oh, no. I have lattes. Okay, we're not drinking coffee. You're drinking milk. You're drinking milk that's not organic, that's loaded with, that comes from cows that have been injected with bovine growth hormone. It's been homogenized. It's been pasteurized. It's loaded with all types of chemicals because the cow that the milk comes from has been injected with antibiotics, which is now in the milk that's in your coffee. The milk comes from a cow that doesn't move. It's fed genetically modified corn. Cows don't eat corn in real life. And they're fed a commercial feed designed to make the cow get fatter, faster, and produce more milk. Completely unnatural. Some of the ingredients in the commercial feed that dairy cows eat, by the way, are ground up dead pigs, horses, cows, goats, chickens that have all been diseased, which means they're not fit for human consumption. So when those animals or animal parts are not fit for human consumption, they grind them up, they put them in the feed that goes to the cows. Cows are vegetarians, they're supposed to be eating grass. So you're getting milk from this disease-laden animal. The milk itself is poison, effectively, giving you all types of health problems, and you think you're drinking coffee. You're not. If you're drinking coffee, it means you're drinking black coffee. But let's stop. What's the number one ingredient in coffee? Black coffee. Now, whether it's espresso or drip coffee, doesn't matter, or a French press. The number one ingredient, you think it's coffee beans, ground up coffee beans. No, the number one ingredient is water. So what is the quality of the water you're using? So many people just go to the tap. They may drink bottled water or filtered water, but then when they make coffee or tea, they just go to the tap. The problem with the tap water is it has chlorine in it. I am in an undisclosed location, which is quite beautiful with palm trees. Every restaurant that I've been into, I said, do you have bottled water? No. I said, why? I said, every place I've been to, nobody has bottled water. Oh, because the water here is so pure and beautiful. It's the highest rated water. We don't need bottled water because the tap water is very healthy. I says, really? It has chlorine in it. Oh, no, it doesn't. I says, hold on a minute. So I go on the internet. See, it's got chlorine. They don't put fluoride in the water here, but they put chlorine in the water, and chlorine is a deadly poison. How do we know this? Because chlorine kills bacteria and virus. It kills 99.999% of all bacteria and virus. Bacteria and virus are living organisms. So chlorine kills living organisms. You are a living organism. So chlorine is going to kill you too, a little bit. You're not going to die by drinking a little bit of the chlorine in the water. But when you bathe in water that has chlorine in it, if you shower in water, it gets on your skin. Your skin is the largest eliminative organ in the body. Whatever you put on the skin is absorbed into the body. You get dry skin, causes all types of health problems, messes up your hormone levels, messes up your sleep, messes up your sex hormones. So guys, affects erectile dysfunction. And then it screws up your hair. You always know when you have a bad hair day. I can always tell. Oh, someone said, I have a bad hair day today. A gal would say. I said, okay, the reason is today the amount of chlorine in the water that you showered in was higher than normal. So therefore you had a bad hair day. So number one, if you're going to drink coffee, make sure that the water is purified water. There's a lot of different types of water, and this is not going to be a show on water today, but you have spring water, you have distilled water, you have filtered water. Those are the three main kinds of water. I'm a believer in natural spring water because this is what nature intended humans to drink. Natural spring water. Some spring waters, you could argue, are better than others. They have different tastes because they have different mineral concentrations and different pH alkalinity levels. But spring water is my ideal. Distilled water, which is basically steam distillation, you take water, you boil it, the steam comes up. When the steam comes up, there's no minerals in it. It's pure water, H2O, but there's nothing else in it. And then it condenses down and you have distilled water. Seems pretty pure, but distilled water doesn't exist in nature. And when you drink distilled water, it will leach all the minerals out of the joints and so forth. So as a therapeutic practice, if you have a lot of joint pain, for a week or two to drink only distilled water is okay. But you shouldn't be drinking distilled water all the time. It's going to leach minerals out of your body, not very healthy. Then you have purified water or filtered water. There are different types of filters. There's charcoal filters. There's activated charcoal, which means it is impregnated with silver. Then you have reverse osmosis and other types of filtration systems. They get out some of the chlorine, some of them get out some of the fluoride, some of the heavy metals, cryptosporidium, viruses, bacteria. Some filters are better than others. The big problem with filtered water is how often do you change your filters? Because if the filter is capturing all these contaminants that are in your water, when was the last time you changed that filter? Because every day it continues to get clogged with all these contaminants. Kind of like a vacuum cleaner. I remember I had a Kirby vacuum cleaner salesman come to my house. This Kirby vacuum cleaner, man, it had suction like out of control. It had a big old bag. It was designed back in the 50s, made of like steel, weighed 100 pounds. It will last forever. You can give it to your grandkids and great-great-grandkids. It'll last forever. It's a great, long-lasting unit. And this guy put some dirt down, and he said, okay, now take your vacuum cleaner and vacuum. So I vacuum. He says, now let me take the Kirby. And he vacuums. He goes, now let me show you how much dirt that was left after you vacuumed that my vacuum cleaner picked up. And he opened up the bag, and there was dirt there. It was a brand new bag when he started. There was nothing in it. And I said, well, that's terrific, but that was a brand new bag. Once you use that bag one day, it's now clogged. You're not going to get the same suction tomorrow or the next day, are you? You're going to have to replace the bag virtually every day. As a matter of fact, an hour after you start vacuuming, the bag is going to start getting clogged and your suction is going to go down, isn't it? And he had to admit, yes. And so then I looked at a rainbow unit, which has water. Because there was no bag, the suction never went down. I wound up getting both, of course, so I could have both in my house, which was silly. Should have bought just the rainbow, which is an excellent unit. And I'm sure there are other great vacuum cleaners as well that don't get clogged, that maintain their suction. But the point is filtration systems lose their ability to filter. All the testing is done on day one. It's not done 6 months after you have the filter. If you start testing your water like I did with different filters a week or 2 or 3 or 2 months or 3 months or 6 months after you have it, it's not the same quality of water that's coming out of the filter, which is why I'm a big believer in my house. You have the ideal scene in my opinion is if you have the money, you get a whole house filtration unit. There's a lot of companies out there that sell them. I go to my friend that I've known since 1979, Fred Van Loo. And we argue all the time. He has a different opinion about water, but I still go to him. I mean, he's trying to sell things and keep his business going, like everybody, and he's passionate, but we argue and have different opinions. But I get a whole house filtration system, which has granular activated charcoal, which means it's impregnated with silver, has a post-filter and a pre-filter, and when the water goes through, it takes out most of the contaminants, chlorine and fluoride. The big things you want to get out is the chlorine and the fluoride. Okay, that's your whole house system. So now the water that you're actually washing your clothes in is filtered. There's no chlorine or fluoride, which means that's not going to be in your clothes or in your sheets against your skin. I also get a shower filter in addition to go in my shower. So after the water goes through the whole house system, it goes through another filter when I shower. And I replace that shower filter once a year automatically, always. And then the whole house system gets backwashed and cleaned out once a year as well. That's what I do. You can also get a reverse osmosis unit under your sink so you can have the best drinking water. And that's very cost effective because you don't have to go be buying bottled water. However, I'm a believer that the water that I drink should be spring water. I believe that there's different types of, well, we all know, it's not a belief. We know that different springs have different mineral contents. So I drink Icelandic water, Voss, there's water from Hawaii, different kinds of waters that I drink that are spring waters. And then I also drink a filtered, structured water called wata. I do that as well. And I mix them up. So I go back and forth. So the point is, when you're drinking coffee, you got to make sure that your water in there is pure water. Whether it's filtered water, whether it's spring water, it's got to be pure water, not distilled water. Your coffee beans, okay, if you want to get organic coffee beans, you know they're organic. There's no pesticides and herbicides on the beans. They're really good. If you're getting a high-grade coffee that's not certified organic, such as Jamaican Blue Mountain, 100% extra fancy Jamaican Blue Mountain, which means the beans are perfect, they're the highest grade, or 100% extra fancy Kona coffee. Another good coffee is Ethiopian coffee. Another good coffee is Colombian coffee. Another good coffee is Costa Rican coffee, Guatemalan coffee. My preferences are Jamaican Blue Mountain, Kona, and Ethiopia. That's what I have as a preference. Everyone has a different preference. But in those countries, you're not going to get certification for organic. But they're pretty much organic, even though they're not certified organic, which means they don't have pesticides and herbicides on them. Okay, so now we have our coffee beans, and now we have our water. Perfect. Drink your coffee. But you say, I need something to sweeten it up with. Don't use artificial sweeteners like aspartame or NutraSweet or sucralose or any of that stuff. Any artificial sweetener is deadly. It's a poison. It's going to make you gain weight. You want to use a natural sweetener. I would recommend against honey, because when you heat honey, it becomes rancid. Not a good idea. You want to use honey in things that you don't bake with or cook with, generally speaking. It has to be cooler. The best sweetener that you can use is pure, 100% organic cane sugar. Good old-fashioned cane sugar that's been used for thousands of years. It's been the number one sweetener used around the world, and a little bit of cane sugar is perfectly fine to sweeten your coffee. Nothing wrong with that at all. And then somebody says, well, I don't like black coffee. Can I mix a little, milk or cream in it? Absolutely. I would recommend that you get organic milk or organic cream or organic half and half, which is half milk and half cream, that comes from grass-fed cows. That's your ideal. If you can get it that it's not homogenized, it's even better. I'll be talking about that in a little bit. And that's a little bit of that is perfectly fine. Someone says, what about the almond milks and the oat milks and the cashew milks? Fine. Read the ingredients. If you get a organic almond milk or cashew milk or something like this, it should have no more than 3 ingredients in it. Almonds, water, sea salt. That's it. Or 2 ingredients. Almonds, water. Or cashews, water. That's it. There should be nothing else in it. If there's any other ingredients, you don't want it. Now you have your coffee. But there's a challenge. Coffee has something in it, in addition to caffeine, called tannic acid. And tannic acid, I've been talking about this for 30 years, is one of the things used to tan leather. It's in the coffee. The problem is when most people drink coffee, and I fall into this category as well from time to time, you drink it on an empty stomach. When you drink coffee on an empty stomach, the tannic acid goes into your system and it hits the hydrochloric acid that's in your stomach. Your stomach has a digestive acid, a digestive enzyme, but it's an acid called hydrochloric acid. It's in your stomach and it's there to digest food. When you mix tannic acid and hydrochloric acid together, it forms almost like a cement and it lines the stomach. The problem with that is, not only will it cause stomach problems, but it prevents absorption of nutrients. And it also then prevents, for hours and hours and hours later, the breakdown of food. which leads to gas and bloating, and it leads to weight gain. Don't worry, there is a solution, and it's a simple one. The simple solution is, before you drink your coffee, eat a little bit of protein. Most people drink coffee first thing in the morning, right? Here's a couple simple tips. Get a dozen organic, free-range eggs. Happy Eggs, I think is the name of the brand, is an excellent brand, but it has to be free-range, which means they're running around, ideally from chickens that aren't fed commercial feed, organic chickens. So you have organic eggs from chickens that are free range, allowed to run around and not in a coop, not commercial. They haven't been irradiated or pasteurized. They're real. That means they have a lot of lecithin in it, which breaks down all of the beautiful fats in the egg. You never want to have egg whites. That's the stupidest thing anybody came up with. And for those of you who eat egg whites, okay, I'm not going to say you're a moron or an idiot. You've just been misinformed and you're a snipe. You're susceptible to the influence of other people very easily. You're in a trance and you're easily suggestible. That's the big scam. The egg yolk has fat in it with the lecithin. The lecithin is good for the brain. Without it, the egg white is not good and not healthy for you. So you want to have a full egg. But it has to be an organic egg. It can't be a commercial egg because then it has low amounts of lecithin, which is no good. So you take your eggs and you make hard-boiled eggs. And you put it in the refrigerator. Go to your health food store or deli and get some roast beef, thinly sliced. No! Damn it. They did it again, didn't they? Well, ladies and gentlemen, as you know, I won't let the U.S. government shut me up. I do this show for you to bring you life-changing information that will change your life. God willing, we will be broadcasting live once again from a secret location next Monday at 1 p.m. Chicago time. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, leave your comments, and make sure you share this show with everyone you know. Until next time, I'm Kevin Trudeau. Remember, God loves you, and so do I.